And I'm Bridget Jones, and I'm here on behalf of the Transportation Coalition of Tennessee, which was made up of 38 organizations that work together as a team to provide awareness and information and support of groups ranging from the county mayors, the city mayors of the Tennessee Municipal League, the Association of Highway Superintendents, the Tennessee Public Transportation Association, AIRP, just a mixture of folks, the engineers, of course, and the construction companies, but just all the groups that know how important transportation infrastructure is to our state. Representative Barry Dawes, as you all know, is the chairman of the House Transportation Committee. And he was the pivotal leader in not only the House, but also in partnership with other leaders in the Senate to really help the governor shape this bill. I know the county mayors and the highway superintendents had a role in this too, shaping this. The mayor and I were speaking earlier, but Representative Dawes did a tremendous job in leading this bill and shaping it through the House Transportation Committee, but also shepherding it through about 3 other committees in the House of the General Assembly and bringing it to the floor for a 5.5-hour discussion. And I was there watching the whole thing. It was amazing. His grasp of knowledge, but also just his leadership presence and his confidence in really talking about the needs of not only Lawrence and Giles County and his district here, but also the relationships that he has in place with the county mayors, the city mayors, the highway superintendents, but also with the governor's office, just to understand how to position this piece of legislation so that it provides important long-term funding for our transportation infrastructure, roads and bridges, but also balances that over on the other side of the balance sheet with the largest tax cut we've ever seen in Tennessee history.
Right after I came in office, we had all the different county mayors come over and road superintendents, and we brainstormed and talked about how do you fund highways, and we all determined that it had to be something coming from fuel to come back to the counties from the state, because you just couldn't continue to do with the cost of paving. You couldn't continue to do that out of property tax. There just wasn't enough funding there. So we'd all determined that there needed to be some help coming back from the state levels to help us with that. And Governor Haslam has listened to all of that. He listened to the county mayors in that. So when he presented that to us as a plan, I'd already told him that he had my support in that because I didn't know any other way for us to fund it. And so I'm excited that we've got this funding, and looking at the numbers, that's going to be a huge benefit to us and helping us. And with the state aid road monies that we're already getting and being able to apply this back to county roads, that's huge.
Well, we're thankful that this passed, that we can carry on with asphalt, chip seal on our roads. Instead of maybe the commission adding money to our budget, we can live with this, and maybe we can get on with some of the other projects that our commissioners would like to see done. And we thank our representative, Mr. Dawes, that the job that he done. He took a lot of heat over this, and still taking heat over it. But years ago, our commission tried to pass that we would raise the gas tax just in this county, but that was not possible for them to do. And this is a blessing for Lawrence County Highway Department.
Infrastructure has been a big commitment of this commission and this county executive. And a few years ago, we actually tried to do something locally with debt service to help our roads, but wasn't nearly enough. So this will take us to the next level and give Mr. Brown the tools that he needs. So we're very thankful for that.
With the passage of Governor Haslam's Improve Act in April, we created the needed funding that all of us who live in Tennessee, as well as our visitors and industries, can benefit from. Together, we all are realizing a very big win. First, the Improve Act contains the largest tax cut of history in our great state through the 6% gas tax user fee increase and the 10% diesel tax user fee increase that'll be phased in over 3 years, we can with confidence allow our Department of Transportation at the state, TDOT, to commit to 962 projects across Tennessee that have been backlogged for a long time or have been identified as priorities, to commit to completing all of those within the next 10 to 12 year time horizon. That coupled with the allocation of funds back to the counties and cities that allows the county and the cities to maintain the roads and bridges and streets that you're responsible for is really positioning Tennessee to keep we're the third state in the country for the quality of our roads now. But this is going to keep us in that position and probably even move us on the list, both with the statewide road network and bridge network, but also the county and city network. The way it's structured, not only will Tennesseans help pay as users, about 40% of the cost will be borne either through out-of-state trucking entities that drive through Tennessee and or tourists, because we have such a big tourism economy, which is really fair. You know, they use it too. We use it. They use it too. So their votes on the IMPROVE Act sets us up for increased economic competitiveness through the manufacturer's F&E tax consolidation. Also, the reduction in tax on groceries for all Tennessee families helps our citizens and far more exceeds the amount monthly that they'll save on that versus the increase in their fuel tax use. So that's balanced. And then again, just mobility, safety, and our quality of life is going to be supported through IMPROVE. Again, Lawrence County's done pretty well though, because you've already got 64 and 43 fixed up. There's still parts of the state that are waiting on that. For instance, in Lewis County, they've 4-lane to 412 to the Murray County line, and there's 6 more miles to get it over to Highway 43. So that was one of the projects that IMPROVE will do for Lewis County. But that's ultimately going to help Lawrence County too, because people in Summertown are going to benefit from that, and Murray. So that's the example of the statewide multi-county projects. But specifically in Lawrence County, you'll see over a 15-year period, Lawrence County is going to receive over $10,863,462 of new funding that the commission and the highway department can put to use to address your roads and bridge needs. All the cities also are going to benefit. Lawrenceburg is going to benefit greatly with over $1.5 million over the next 15 years. But even Loretta at almost $250,000, Etheridge and St. Joseph, too, are going to get a nice increase to help with their local street funding. So all of your local government, cities and counties, over the next 15-year time horizon is going to receive almost $2 million worth of new funding on top of what you already get to help you meet your infrastructure needs. That coupled with the 2 projects in Lawrence County, we'll flip the page and look in a moment. There are 2 projects that add up to almost $2 million through the local bridge program. And I'll let you tell us about those bridges, because I bet you've been worried about how you're going to get those fixed, but where they are. And then that brings it home even more, because again, that's money that somebody had to come up with. So those will be where?
We've got a local bridge over Busby Road. It's over Shoal Creek. It needs to be replaced, and it's in this budget here. And then we got a bridge at Pleasant Valley Road. It's over Dry Creek on this project.
So those 2 have been identified as highly in need of repair replacement. So the funding is budgeted. So if you bring that number back to the front page and add it to the new revenue for your cities and counties, over the next 15-year period with full implementation of IMPROVE, the new investments in Lawrence County is going to be $14,628,482.
2017-2018 budget, it's showing on here that Lawrence County Highway Department will get $450,000 of new money. Now, they're not gonna come down here and drop this money off in a tow sack for us. This comes in as they drive and spend gas, and this comes in, we get a check every month for gas, and this is the way this comes out. This just don't come out in one lump sum.
After the.
And we want the public to know that, you know, we're not getting this right up front here. In July 1, we're not getting the extra 450,000. It'll be over a 12-month period.
It's a 3-year phase-in for both the gas and the diesel tax user fee. In the first year, in 2017, on the gas side, 4 cents will be applied, and that will be the amount for 2017. 2018, it will increase another penny. 2019, gosh, that seems far out in the future, doesn't it? It will increase the third penny, and that will get us up to a level 6% gas user fee increase that will lock in at that time. On the diesel side, it's a similar phase-in. Is it 8 cents, 9 to 10, I believe?
It's 10, it tops out at 10, it's 8, 9, 10.
Yeah.
And, you know, notable about the diesel side, the Tennessee truckers, I forgot to mention them, the Tennessee Trucking Association was very much a leader in shaping this legislation and committing support to improve, because they realize, again, with the industry and the logistical center of the world that Tennessee is with truck traffic, they needed the roads fixed not only for their own fleets in Tennessee, but they too understood the opportunity of letting pass-through and out-of-state trucking entities help us make these payments.
The trucking company, as I talked with on this, says if he hits one pothole,
Right.
line his truck back up and everything, that's gonna take care of the
Yeah.
gas tax.
Yeah,
They're way ahead of the game.
yeah,
You know,
yeah.
That's the reason they was for this.
The benefit of smooth highways far outweigh the penalty of paying a fuel tax.
Right.
So, I came out of the warehousing and trucking industry, so
Okay.
I understand that. And having good, smooth roads, same with individuals,
Right.
same thing. I mean, it's, for a person who buys 20 gallons of gas a week in 2019, it's going to be like $1.40 addition for a tank in a week, $1.40. I'll trade $1.40 for $754,000 all day.
But we're wanting to put all of this extra money that we're getting, this is gonna come to our budget, to spend it the way we feel like we need it, and we feel like it needs to be on the roads, either tar and gravel or asphalt one. Years ago, when I came in office, we had 560 miles of dirt road. We got less than 70 of dirt roads left.
If you look at what's taken place in the last couple of years with what Donnie Jones' group has done, you can ride around the county now and you can see a noticeable difference already just with the $2 million that we did and the extra $500,000 that Barry got last year
Right.
for state aid roads. Just that amount of money has made a huge impact in the county. And when you start talking about $100,000 or $90,000 per mile, you don't think that you're going to get very much done. But this amount of money will make a difference in our county, and you'll see it. It will make a significant difference for us.
We will be getting some extra state aid money this year. They haven't told us yet if part of that was gonna go to state aid bridges or state aid roads yet. You may know already.
I haven't heard, actually. I know it's going to be decided, so you'll know very quickly. But it's terrific to have just a little bit extra too, right?
Right,
So-
right. We're getting, right at what we got last year, and this will be a one-time thing. Unless we get it added, we won't know till next year if we get it again. Come from the surplus money. It's what it is, and it's gonna be somewhere around $700,000 for our county, besides this 450. And it'll be used on state aid roads.
One of the things, and I don't think Bridget's covered this, but one of the things that I think we need to understand as well is that the new monies that we're getting through this Improve Act, the counties are not, we won't be able to reduce maintenance of effort, okay, to him. In other words, we won't be able to cut our portion by $754,000. This is, and I'm glad the governor set it up like that, because that guarantees us the additional funding going toward our highways. We, on the note that we did, we reserved 6.5 cents of our tax increase to capital projects for the highways. And so that's in debt service that could be rediverted, but our tax dollars that we're doing on the operations of that, you can't reduce it.
Right.
And so that's an important thing to note as well, that this money is additional money, and based on the way this tax structure is set up.
On the tax cut side, the decrease in manufacturing, corporate, franchise, and excise taxes, basically Tennessee was the only state in the southeast, and also of about half of the states in the country, that had not taken the step to consolidate those or to provide manufacturers the option of choosing one source to pay. I guess it could be considered a reduction when you do the math, but we needed to streamline, I guess I call it streamlining that, and simplifying it so that our manufacturers that are currently here, but also new manufacturers that are looking to locate in Tennessee, will receive the same opportunity for that as all of our bordering competing states. As a matter of fact, they've already announced 2 or 3 new industries over in Dayton and in the Chattanooga region. These companies were just waiting for this to be put in place because it was coming over there or going into Georgia. So we wanted to get those on the Tennessee side, and they wanted to be on the Tennessee side. So again, that's a benefit for Lawrence County because y'all have such a strong base of manufacturing, and you're so well positioned with your new industrial parks and your access on 43 and 64 to continue to be extremely successful in locating manufacturing jobs. That, coupled with your higher education and your educational investment, is going to really position Lawrence County to continue to be a leader in this part of the state. Every year, that reduction in manufacturers tax totals $113 million a year, and that's statewide. Okay, and then the other one, the grocery tax cut savings totals $125 million a year, and that was a 20% reduction on the amount that every family pays when they go to the grocery store on their sales tax. We've seen that come down under Governor Haslam, which I think is great. But they started out with 1/4 cent or 1/2 cent and got it up to a full cent. So again, that's a huge savings for all Tennesseans because we all have to buy food. So that's, again, good for families and citizens, good for manufacturers and businesses. The other 2 reduction areas, the Senate added this and then the House adopted it, was property tax release for elderly, disabled, and disabled veterans. So there'll be some new provisions for those taxes, property taxes, to go down, a relief program. And then finally, under this administration, the legislature had already approved a reduction or an elimination of the Hall income tax, which is the tax on dividends of investments. So that was supposed to be phased out, I believe, by 2020 anyway. So this accelerated the amount that would be phased out during this year and future years. So all of that added together equals to an annual $500 million in taxes that will annually be cut in Tennessee with Improve at its full implementation stage. Again, it's going to take us a little while to get there. But in the next year, it's projected that nearly $300 million in taxes, or in 2018, $300 million in taxes will be realized on that side of the balance sheet. So, again, that's why, again, it was put together so well. It was kind of a complicated piece of public policy and piece of legislation, to get everybody's minds around that side, as well as the user fee on gas and diesel and how much can we get. But, again, it was very balanced and deemed to be just extremely sensible, common sense conservative, if you want to use that term, approach to balancing out the revenue we needed for the infrastructure versus the reduction in taxes on the other side. So, and again, we had all the economic development people were in our coalition, the Tennessee Chamber of Commerce, the Tennessee Manufacturers Association, local chambers were all a part of the coalition, and the Department of Economic Community Development was a part. Department of Ag was a part because agricultural products have to be hauled around. Y'all know that down here. Tourists was a part because our tourists drive our roads and use our infrastructure. So all the economic development players were a part of this coalition, as well as the other infrastructure and construction people. So that's how that's going to work. I just want to thank you all again for coming and letting us share with this. Thank you again for your coverage, and again, just let's not forget to brag on Barry Doss a little bit and hold him up as a leader for your county, but also for our entire state. So thank you again for
Thank
coming
you,
today.
Rachel.
Thank you.